Technology has made this possible for us, and this is absolutely the future of work. And one more thing I'll add is I wrote an article a few years ago, like during the middle of the COVID craziness, that COVID was actually the best thing to happen for humanity. Of course, I got a lot of hate mail on that. I ended up getting a few death threats on that, which was kind of fun. But I stand by it that I believe COVID was the best thing to happen because it gave people the understand, not only people but also the companies they work for. It said, hey, well, you remember during COVID, even huge companies with 50,000 employees said, hey, you can't work in the office anymore. Go home, work from home.
Yeah.
And everyone said, wait, I can work from home. I can do this. And then they realized, actually, for the most part, I'm more productive working from home. I can work in my pajamas. I can go to lunch with my kid at school and take an hour off for lunch to hang out. I don't have to commute an hour to work every day, putting, miles or kilometers on my car, driving to and from work every day. My quality of life just dramatically improved. And this is absolutely the future of work. I mean, of course, some things, it's kind of hard to make a hamburger working remotely. It's kind of hard to fix your plumbing working remotely, but in service and service trades, a lot of service trades you can do completely online. So to me, this is the future.
No, absolutely, absolutely. It's definitely a little bit controversial, of course, that the detonator might have been the pandemic, no? Because a lot of these technologies, like Skype, you mentioned, already existed for several years before, and they were there, and we just didn't use them in the extent that we are using them now.
On a video chat and get your documents notarized. Now, almost every state in the U.S. offers remote online notary, and all of those legislative tasks.
Absolutely. Now you can buy a house here in Northern Europe and never meet the notary, never meet the other person, doing everything online, no? Because the authentication and identification signature is so advanced, no?
I'm selling a property, by the way, this week. I'm selling one of my properties in Latvia this week. I had one of my notary appointments this morning with the bank, and I have the other notary appointment on Wednesday with the seller and the notary and the lawyer to finalize the contract. And I'm not in Latvia. I'm in the U.S. right now
Mhm.
for at least another couple of weeks, but I'm doing it completely remotely. And yeah, none of this was even possible COVID. Like
Yeah,
pre-COVID, I would have had to have flown back to Latvia and meet with the notary in person to sign the documents because it wasn't even a thing.
yeah, exactly.
I forgot. 21, I think, is when you were able to do these types of transactions.
And
Digital notary.
touching a little bit on that, I would like to ask you, in your experience, because you have seen a lot of businesses, a lot of different type of companies that you had helped to create. Is that what they are doing, and I think what they are doing might be outside of what is normal for a company that is locally based to do. And I don't know if in the US, it's starting to be normal that the services that are offered by X or Y are coming from a person that is having its company, that it's a digital nomad, not that it's this week in Brazil, next week in Switzerland, like you were mentioned. It's becoming something like that is routine, or is still something?
I think every day it becomes more and more and more routine. I had a call last week. I'm sure you've heard of the fintech company, Revolut.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty big now. Revolut's pretty big. Depending on the country, they're either an EMI or a bank in different countries. Like in Europe, they're a bank out of Lithuania. In the UK, they're a bank.
Yes.
In the US, they're still a fintech EMI. Anyway, I had a partner call with Revolut last week, and the guy I talked to is the director of their US operations, and he was working from home in Austin, Texas. And more normalized now. I don't think people, like maybe 10 years ago, if you had a call with somebody, it was a little bit weird that if you had a call, like a business call, and the person is sitting around in their house and they tell you, oh, yeah, I'm working from home. I think it was a bit strange, maybe even looked a little less professional, but
In my own experience, the last couple of years had been a transformation, because at the beginning, when we started the company, it was very difficult even to explain what are we doing, how are we working, and how the accountant could fit certain things that we are doing, and now it's totally another situation. No, it's totally not super easy, not totally straightforward, but it's a big difference that a couple of years ago comparing.
This is a funny anecdote, but I booked a plane ticket. This was probably 10 or 12 years ago. I booked a plane ticket on Southwest Airlines in the US.
Mhm.
Turns out the booking agent that I was talking to on the phone, normally I would just book it online, but I had some problem with the ticket and I had to call somebody. And the booking agent I got on the phone was working from home. And I remember the lady lived in Utah. She lived just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. Because I just asked her, I'm like, hey, by the way, are you working from home? Because I heard somewhere that Southwest booking agents work from home. And yeah, we got to talking about her work. And she goes, yeah, she went in to the Southwest office to train for a couple weeks. And then they sent her home and they gave her basically tools like a computer, a printer, scanner, a headset, and they like paid for the high speed internet in their house. And that was it. She works from home. And apparently Southwest Airlines has been doing this for more than a decade. Like their booking agents, almost all of them work from home now
Yeah.
and have been for a long time.
A conversation that we had last year with another of the guests, we were talking about the changes in mentality and the organizational culture in the business in Europe and the US in the last 15-20 years. And after this conversation, one of the comments was that in our youth, that was the 90s, early 2000s, we were still thinking that freedom was to own your own car and drive away and just go ride with your
Mm,
car. That was freedom for us, no? And now freedom
yeah.
is digital skills that allows you to go further than you could imagine with your car 15-20 years ago, no?
Yeah. I've got a high school. My youngest son he's graduating high school this year. And the day after graduation, him and I are flying to Europe. We're traveling all over Europe for the summer. He already works, by the way. He works online completely remotely, traveling as soon as he graduates. The day after he finishes high school, we're traveling around in Europe. Then we're going, I think in the autumn, we're going to like New Zealand and Australia. And actually, we're going to Mexico.
Amazing.
And he can work. He can work completely on.
Thanks for watching until the end. Tell your friends about it, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Oh, or watch one more video. And if you'd like to learn more, you can find the whole podcast and other episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Links in the description.